Hello everybody and welcome to Mercury 80, and we're in Papillon, and just down that area is our usual gifting area, and as you can see we've got fantastic light. There is a bit of sunshine. In fact, when I left home it was clear blue sky, and then about half an hour into the journey it started to rain, but anyways it's brightened up now. So we'll have a little wander. Got a couple of things I want to speak about, and we'll see if anything's changed. But it is a lovely day and I hope you're all happy. The sun makes us smile. So that looks quite a decent path down this way. In fact, it looks very, very clear. And a nice little bit of casual bending. Nothing else has come around here to bend that in that direction. We don't have bears. We certainly don't have 9-foot deer. So, don't know why, but it's all a little bit bent. Now I do mention stickery, and I do go on about it, but look at this. Here we go. So we've got this sort of almost like a tent shape here. Let's see if I can show you without disrupting it too much. There, up, crosses over with this one here, and that goes down to there, and then there's more crossing here. It's like a three-dimensional shape. I can assure you that animals don't in general come along and just think, let's plant these and leave nice little shapes. If that was the case, then they would think, why don't we do that to this tree, or to this tree, or to this tree. But no, it's just that tree. It's lovely light, isn't it? We're going to be running out of light very shortly as the evenings start to draw in, and we're into October. So all of this stuff, the fungi, is going crazy. I have shown you this before. I just find that fascinating. I think it's purely by accident that it's growing there. Anyway, let's get on to our gifting area. Have any of you ever had an MRI scan? Had to have one very, very recently, last week, and they were able to give me an emergency one because I get considerable pain in my knees So you kind of understand what an MRI scan does. It operates using magnetics, and the magnetic creates, the imager creates an image of your bone on soft tissue structure, actually, in your joints or your knees, whatever it's looking for, whichever part of the body it's focused on. So I'm lying there, I'm thinking that everything that I do is enhanced with natural magnetics, and I believe magnetics that the people have enhanced within the area. I think portals are enhanced with magnetics, or even use magnetics to open and close. And I think that people who have a high magnetic content within their body or are more receptive. And I throw that question out as well to those of you involved in Reiki. I'm sure, well, I believe that it might enhance it. Anyway, I'm lying there and this machine is clattering around me. I'm being forced to listen to some awful 1940s show tunes, which is just salt on the ears, I can tell you. But anyway, it occurred to me that this could affect my abilities, and I said, will this, in a question in general, will this affect my ability to hear, to see, and to feel energy? And immediately I heard in response, enhance, enhance, enhance. Now, I didn't think too much of it. When I came out of there, drove home, I felt, shall we say, completely off. Like I was not mentally disoriented, but like my body was physically disoriented, which was weird. I can't describe it, I just felt off. I'm not one to ail or feel ill at all. I don't do illness. Illness is an inconvenience to me. But when I got home and I went to sleep at night, everything, the clarity was incredible. The vivid reality of what I was seeing, I felt as if I was stepping into another world, completely different world. Extremely vivid colours, senses, hearing, and they were right, absolutely enhanced. Really, really, everything was very, very enhanced. And that went on for probably about 3 days. So I think they've adjusted it now. Last night felt a completely different kind of healing, very much of the Reiki type, where you could feel the energy being pulled out of your body. So I wonder if I had an excess of magnetic energy. Something that I will say, when I was having this MRI, there's two girls floating around, and they it's like an X-ray thing, isn't it? When you go in there, they put you under all of this gear, trap you in the place that you need to be, and then they disappear off in a room with their special glasses on or whatever. So say, oh, we're not going to suffer from the same things as you. We'll hide from that. You can have all this magnetism around you. Rather like an X-ray, it's like, oh no, you can have the X-ray. We'll just hide behind here because whatever you're getting is going to hurt you. It's going to be damaging to you. In the smallest, tiniest of forms, but that always makes me laugh. So there's nobody else there. and you're just there, lying there, listening to this god-awful music, and I literally felt with my right hand somebody put their hand within mine, and it startled me because I had to look around. I thought, what are they doing? Anyways, somebody took my hand and held my hand while I was lying there. I'm thinking, but I'm not frightened. Why are they doing this? And then I thought, do you get something from the magnetics? Are you able to use that magnetic like a recharge? And the answer is yes, they can. Could I see anybody? Nope. But it was as good as you taking my hand and holding my hand. That's how it felt. I could feel it in my hand. It wasn't a massive hand either. That's another thing. It wasn't a massive hand like you'd expect them to have a huge hand. It was just, I can't explain it. I have no way of explaining it. But that was what the MRI did, and it absolutely, everything was really vivid. When I got home going to sleep at night, I could see all this sort of imagery, colours. Colours are really important. And I thought that they were assessing as well what the MRI was doing. So they were assessing So I believe that they were assessing what that was accumulating, what information that was accumulating. Fascinating stuff. Given all the light that we had in the previous week's video, and then this, lots of things. I think there's lots of sort of doorways being opened for us to explore here. So, don't know what you think of that. Anyway, we best get on and head off to the gifting tree. So anybody who has had or has an enhanced sort of senses, whether you are with Reiki or just a gifted sensitive, have you ever had an MRI? Have you noticed this? I'm just curious by all of it. It fascinates me. But it's certainly like stepping into another world. So this is our little gifting area, just down here. So straight away, what have we here? This is the lid off the peanut butter. There's a plastic bag there. You can see that straight in the centre. Not an apple on the tree. All the apples have gone. Right, I'm going to go back over this video when I get home, because I can clearly hear something at that point and I can't relate it. Couldn't decide. It wasn't a bird, didn't sound like a bird to me, but I might be wrong. It might be a singular goose flying over. Not a single red bag left. That's odd. That is odd. That's the sardine tin. Let's just see if that is empty. I don't expect there to be anything in that. Be very surprised. Oh, oh dear. Somebody likes sardines. Guess what I didn't bring this week? Idiot. Forgot the sardine tin. Completely torn open, that bag. There's a hole at the bottom there, you can see that. Let me go around here and grab that lid again. It's full of water. I'm just surprised that there are no apple bags. I'm going to put these on here. That's paper from probably the sweets that I left. See, I hung the apples on this tree. There isn't even a trace, not even a trace of the bag. That's just huge. Great big hole in there. Wow. Holes all over. That's just been torn apart. Torn asunder, as they would say. I'm just curious as to why those apple bags, they usually take the apples and leave the nylon nets. What's this? Oh, there you go, completely cleaned out. No apple bags at all. Alright, I'm just gonna put some fruit out. Hazelnuts. Some peanut butter. Here we go, and I'll put that one in there. It's not that easy to get out. Oh, I've got some pecans. Put that in there. And these look like Brazil nuts. Put those on there. And the last one are just, I think, walnuts. Yes, we've got some walnuts. So if I pop those there, and then in between each one of those, we will put a biscuit. These are just chalky biscuits. Put them like that, and I've got some apples to put up, and some. What we will do is I'll set these incense sticks. Somebody asked me why I brought incense sticks. No particular reason. I just felt like it, I suppose, and I stuck with it, really. So I just wait till they get well and truly alight. I just shove them in around here. I don't often say this out loud, but I do thank the tree in the process, even though it's a stump, for hosting these. So that just creates a really nice little smell, or aroma, shall we say. There you go, you get a better sense of what we've got. Like I say, hazelnuts, Brazil nuts, pecans in the middle, just see those, and then some walnuts, and 2 dark chocolate bars and 2 light chocolate bars. And these light ones have got toffee, the rocky things have got toffee in. The Kit Kats are just Kit Kats. And then we've got, I've stuck it in the hole there, we've got the peanut butter there. So these are the apples, and I've picked these freshly off the apple tree, and these are Gala apples. So I've got these ones and some here, and the trees are just laden with apples at the moment. I do have some Cox's orange pippin, but they are frankly miserable little things in comparison to these. They're a very sweet apple, but they're tiny, and it would be a little bit like them having a tiny marble. I'd just like to have a good scout around, because I'm really curious. I'm very curious that there are no apple bags at all. So I wonder what you think about the MRI and magnetics. And anybody that has an experience of that kind, if they found it super enhanced, I'd be really interested to know. Drop us an email. By the way, my email address is in the About section. You're more than welcome to drop one anytime you like. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And Eileen, wow, your images that you sent me from last week's video, the week before the video, and you will have seen the video from last week, so you picked up exactly what I had discovered when I was editing the video. Isn't it remarkable? It's amazing. Yes, your images were spot on, Eileen. Thank you. Absolutely spot on. And if anybody else finds anything like that, yeah, I'd be very interested to know. Send me your images, and I'll have a look at them. But Eileen, thank you. Well spotted. Well spotted. I'm just curious again at this little structure, because I don't believe that this little structure is by accident. It's not very big. If I put my hand up against it like that, you get an idea of its size. But I don't believe that is, I don't think that's accidental. I think that has been created. What I would like to do is to read you out one of the comments that was left on the Mercury 80 site. And this came from DQuez. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for sending this. I'm going to read it out and see what anybody else thinks. I will add my comments at the end, but see what anybody else thinks. So this is what DQuest has sent me, and it was there on the comments to read. I have preceded it, shortened it slightly. says, I do want to share a story from a couple of weeks back. I thought of emailing you, but I'd like others to be able to read it if they so wish. And I'm very grateful that you did that, because it's a fantastic story. A couple Thursdays back, I had my first chiropractor appointment. The next evening, after my son had visited, I walked him to his car. I sat on a rock to watch the sky for a few minutes, and I almost immediately felt the Sasquatch around me. But then I felt them start to work on my spine. It felt as if both of their hands were closed around my spine, just below the neck, and pulling me back and into better posture. Not gently, but also not overly aggressively. All energetically. This went on for 20 minutes. I went and sat by the river the very next night and got well over an hour-long session from them as it got dark. This was a lot more intense. I was sitting on a log. I could hear as many as 4 of them positioning themselves around me from the rocks and leaves being tread on, but nobody physically there. At one point, it felt more like a spinal massage, as I felt thumb points on the side of my neck and spine slowly rubbing up and down. I thanked them many times throughout this event. Also, there was a lot of attention to my clavicle area, painful, but also I trusted that I was receiving special care, supraclavicular lymph nodes. I couldn't raise my shoulders whatsoever. It was wild. After it seemed to ease up, I blindly walked out of the dark woods, but they were still working as I walked. So I went down to the bridge by my place for a while to watch the stars. That, I think, is absolutely remarkable. I want to ask any of you if you have felt that. I can tell you I get a lot of healing on my hands. It feels like a form of Reiki. You can feel the energy. Sometimes it tingles. This happens usually at night before I go to sleep. Probably when you're most receptive, you're not distracted by mobile phones, cell phones, Wi-Fi, tech, television, all that rubbish. I have another viewer, a lady called Teresa, who told me she had exactly the same experience, and she felt them put their hands into her spine. It's the weirdest feeling. I have felt the hands under my skin, and I don't know whether it's hands, but it feels so gentle, just like the ends of the fingers going like this, ever so gentle, around my heart area. It's very, very special when you feel it. You can't mistake it for anything else, you know. It's not like a fly has landed on you or anything like that. It's very specific. And I think it's a wonderful thing to experience. And Dequez, thank you for telling us that. And I know that there's another lady I know who has told me of receiving this form of massage on her neck area as well. So I think it's just remarkable. I'm not sure how it works. I have thought of... I was under the impression that I had this energy ball in my hands, but sometimes it's very different, and it takes the form of you can actually feel the hands on your body. And Dequez, you've clearly felt that. I'd be interested to know how you feel. After you've been to the chiropractor, had you not got something quite right? And did they finish the job off and do it properly? I wonder. it is interesting, isn't it? The whole thing to do with healing is so interesting, and we're so grateful for what they do. So there we go. Thank you, Dee Chris, and I hope everybody was able to enjoy that story, and thank you for allowing it to be on the public viewing. It is interesting, isn't it, the stuff we learn, and what Dee Chris has said, absolutely remarkable. I find that really, really remarkable. So have a good week, and we'll see you next week. Okay, bye.